To a different kind of madness and back to Australia. The Commonwealth Bank has sent an email out to anyone holding a complete access account saying, look, we've decided these accounts no longer exist, so we're moving you over to a smart access account. Now, I hope everyone read the fine print in this email, because they would have discovered, had they read on, that it's going to cost them from January 6 next year $3 to withdraw their own money, should they go to a bank branch, a post office, or try and make a withdrawal over the phone. $3 a pop. What the heck is that covering? Admin costs? Does it really cost 3 minutes for someone to just grab the cash, which they're employed to do already, and hand it over the counter? Now, the Commonwealth Bank wants you to know that as long as you keep using their ATMs, it's free. You can still withdraw for free. But we all know this is another spoke in the wheel of making it harder and harder to use cash here in Australia. Because while the Commonwealth Bank says, oh, don't worry, just use a Commonwealth Bank ATM and your withdrawal is still free, they've closed over 54% of their ATMs over the last 5 years. They've closed more than 350 branches over the last 5 years. So while they try and make it sound like, oh, this actually isn't too bad, it's an absolute you-know-what show. Where do these banks get off? Everyone already pays banking fees. Most of us don't know where that goes either, because they get to play with our money for as long as it's in our accounts. That little figure on your screen when you log into your bank account ain't just sitting there waiting for you. They do stuff. They make the most of the money that you've invested with them while they've got it. So here they are making the most of us choosing them as a bank, while flogging their own people who have chosen Commonwealth Bank. It does my head in, and no wonder this has rightly released a massive backlash of thousands of Australians saying, we're just going to change banks then, because you flogs can go jump. It's only right.
I just want to know what would happen if you go to your local Commonwealth Bank and you say to the teller, because you're down to your last $3, right? So you say, I'd like to withdraw my $3, please. And she would just look at you and smile and say, there you go. and that would be it.
This slip. But I'll give you an IOU.
The Commonwealth Bank just announced the timing of this is brilliant, right?
It's ridiculous.
They announced today, we're going to charge you to get your own money. But less than 4 weeks ago, they announced a $2.5 billion first quarter profit. So it's not like they're doing it tough. I mean, no. $2.5 billion, that's not financial year, that's the first quarter. Yeah. And now they're going to sting you to get your own money. The problem with this is that when you got paid in days gone by, you get it in a little envelope. And then you could decide to put it under your pillow if you're Italian, or you could put it in the bank if that's what you wanted to do, or whatever.
If you're Italian or you're smart, but you're just jolly smart, don't give them your money.
But these days, your money goes straight from your employer to the bank, in this case, the Commonwealth Bank of Australia, and then you have to go and beg or pay to get it out. That's not a good deal. But I mean, banks stopped providing service so long ago. I remember some time ago I went to the St George Bank in my local area. I don't bank with St George, but I know that they have cash on premises, right? I had a $100 bill, I needed 250s. I went in there, they wouldn't swap it for me. I'm like, you're a bank, don't you deal in...
Like, you're not even one of us.
Money? Is it like money your thing? And
what? I mean, it is just insane. I mean, I have been a long-term CommBank customer. I'm also a Westpac customer, and I'm seriously considering pulling my customer.
Why would you pay double fees?
Well, it's one's business related and one's personal. But I am seriously considering pulling everything out of CBA. I've got my mortgage with CBA. I've got all my savings accounts, my spending accounts, all with CBA. I'm seriously considering pulling out of there, because they are taking people for a ride. I mean, they say that you'll still be able to go into the bank and do it for free if you've got a disability, right? But let's be real here. The majority of people who would still go into a bank branch to do their banking are older Australians. This is discrimination against, and
it's absolutely ageist.
It is discrimination against older people. And the banks have had it so easy in this country for such a long time. I mean, look, the last couple of years with interest rates going up, that's why their profits are going through the roof, because us who have a mortgage are forced to give more and more of our income to them, and that just goes straight into their pockets. They love that. Their profits are going through the roof, and at the same time, they want to take $3 away from you to take out your own money. But the banks in Australia, and I have said this before, are secured by the federal government. If the whole thing goes A over T, the federal government, post the global financial crisis in 2007, made a decision that it would secure the banks in order to secure our economic systems in Australia. Now, in exchange for the federal government providing that security to the banks, essentially saying that you will never fall over, which means you have a lifetime, in perpetuity, profit as long as you run your business properly, the federal government should be able to call in some favours, and the federal government needs to grow a spine and start telling CommBank and all the other banks to pull their heads in and not do this kind of thing. If you want the security of the federal government, which by extension is the security of the taxpayer, the security of the customers of Commonwealth Bank and the other banks, you must keep your branches open. You must provide a certain level of service. If you won't do that, then you don't get our security anymore. That is how things should be.
And the irony that they've called this the smart access account. You can't access it. The smart access account. Oh, it's smart to pay my bank $3 to access my own money. These guys want to ensure that cash is dead in this country. But according to the latest stats from the RBA, Aussies in the last 12 months alone withdrew $107 billion. In the last 12 months, we withdrew $107 billion in cash. So cash ain't dead, and you've got a long way to go before you're punished enough to make it happen.